You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter.
Everything is crashing.
Everything?
Everything in Trump's world is crashing.
Okay, I agree. There's a lot going wrong in America right now, I will say. It's weird because part of me wants to I don't know, like do like an in your face, like I told you this was gonna happen. But the other part of
Yeah.
me is like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like money wise for everybody, including myself, like this is terrible. But like also, like I told you this was gonna happen. Anyhow,
Yeah. Don't let a guy who claimed bankruptcy 7 times lead the country.
yeah. So, in what all ways are you thinking that everything is crashing? The economy is not looking good at the moment.
I heard someone say we're officially in a recession
I have
today.
not heard that yet. You have to have to be a recession. I believe you have two consecutive quarters of retraction of like a negative GDP to technically be in a recession. We have not had that yet.
Of negative GDP.
Yeah. So, and
Okay.
Bessent came out recently and said that we have certain sectors of our economy that are in a recession, but overall our economy is not in a recession
Well,
by
how long has
definition.
AI been holding up the stock market?
Oh, I mean, if you take AI out of it, then yeah, we're probably in a recession. But you can't. I mean, they're part of the economy, so
Okay.
it's
Okay.
all make believe, but they are.
That's probably where that was coming from. Was it was like if you just remove AI, then we are definitely already
Yeah,
in a recession.
I would say that's 100% factual. But we
But
got AI
who's
for now.
making money off of AI?
People that own their stock, I guess. I mean, that's about it.
And I think we went over this last time or the time before, where it's like 90% of the stocks are held by 10% of the people.
Sub Something like that. I've heard that
Something like
stat.
that.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it
Yeah.
is, but
It's all the rich people
yeah.
stocks.
So yeah, good for
All
them.
right.
What else
Okay.
besides the economy is crashing?
Well, so yeah, job numbers are looking pretty bad. Like
We,
they haven't come out, but
I was gonna
but
say,
from all indications, our job numbers are looking pretty slim at this point.
you know,
Uh,
with COVID, when Trump was saying, well, if we stopped testing, there wouldn't be all these positive cases. It's one of those where it's like if we never release the jobs data, then there's not a bad jobs report. Duh. Like just don't
yeah,
release it and everything's fine.
yeah. Inflation is high, and Trump has
Inflation's
already started removing tariffs from certain items.
yeah, let
Which
me
this is going to be one of those things where he does it. He's really good at this, where he just destroys something and then he reverses course and he says, "Oh, look, I fixed all these problems that Biden had."
So the White House, I gotta pull this up real quick. The White House put up a tweet and it said, "Thanks to President Trump's deal making, we're making trade fair again and winning big. Coffee, tea, cocoa, spices, bananas, oranges, tomatoes, beef, fertilizers, and more are now exempt from reciprocal tariffs. America First policies delivering the American workers and families." He
He
that
did the
Yeah,
tariffs.
yeah, there was no deal. They started off by saying thanks to Trump's deal making, there was no deal. He put these tariffs on, they're hurting our economy. We don't grow any of that here in America, and now he's taking them off. There was no deal. He is taking off the tariffs. He's fixing the problem he solved. Like this is driving me insane. And they put that out like exclamation points like thanks to President Trump's deal making, like he's making the economy better. We're happy to announce we're removing all these tariffs. There was no deal with any of those countries. Anyhow,
There was zero deal.
yeah.
Yeah, this is frustrating. And some people believe it, right? Some people are like, "Oh yeah, look at all these things he's doing. I saw it on X or whatever."
Yep.
And it's actually he put the tariffs on and now he's taking them off because he didn't realize it was gonna, oh man, it was
Yeah.
gonna like inflate everything. I don't understand what he
That's
thought,
just
what his thoughts were.
when he was talking about doing tariffs in the run up to the election, I'd be talking to friends of mine up here that are Republican, and it's like, yeah, if he does the tariffs, it's going to make inflation worse. Prices are going to go up, and they'd be like, they'd be genuinely like wanting to learn. They'd be like, well, what makes you say that if the tariffs go in place, the prices will go up? And I'd be like, because tariffs are a tax, and they'd be like, well, but and they keep want to keep like arguing with me, and I'm just like, if you think we're going to tariff, and he was saying at the time it'd be a baseline tariff of 10 to 15%. So I was just
Hmm.
explaining, like, if you do that, prices are going to go up 10 to 15%. And they were like, well, why do you say that? What?
That's how it works.
Like,
And
irritating.
honestly, sometimes the producers of whatever product will eat some of those tariffs, right? But
The
it's not all of tariffs for sure.
the final, at first they were eating more of it than they are now. The final, it looks like, answer on this is that they're passing along about 80% of it to the consumer. The importer and the producer are splitting the other 20% basically, but 80% is getting through to us is what it appears. So
Okay.
yeah.
And on that note, so he said he's going to issue he keeps saying he's going to issue $2,000 checks to every American, right?
You know, but what's funny is every time they ask Scott Bessent or Kevin Hassett about it, they're like, "Well, it might come in different forms," and they're not nearly as committal as Trump is on this. But anyhow, yeah,
Trump said yesterday or the day before that he's going to write checks to every American.
yep.
And I did the math. We're taking in $195 billion in
Mm.
tariffs, which means if you gave everybody $2,000, you could only pay out 9 million people.
So I'm going to correct you real quick. He has said, I don't know what he said most recently, but he said a couple different times that he's going to give it to low income and middle class people. He's not giving it to the rich. So I don't know how
That's
many.
more than 97 million people, though.
I get it, but
Okay.
yeah.
And so we have 350 million people in this country. If you split 195 billion, that is $557.15 per person.
Okay.
So that's about all he has to give to each person. But he also said he was going to give the farmers the tariff money.
Yeah, he's promised the tariff money to a lot of different people at this point.
He also said he's going to pay off the debt with the tariff
Yeah.
money. What else did he
I can't
promise
remember.
this tariff money to?
The Daily Show did a little skit on all the different places he's promised this money to, and yeah, there's several different places. Real quick on the $2,000 checks, just because Trump, when we talked about this last time, when Biden and Trump were both running in 2019, 2020, they were both promising us $2,000, rebate checks or whatever. What do they call them? The stimulus checks.
Stimulus.
And Biden eventually won. He followed through and gave it to him, and Republicans immediately said, "Well, this is causing the inflation." Fair point. It wasn't helping. It was definitely adding to it, but the inflation was a lot of reason. It was everybody turning their economy back on after COVID is what basically led to it. But anyhow, so inflation right now we're battling. It's starting to tick back up. Trump's going to give everybody $2,000. By Republican logic, that's bad. That's going to make inflation worse, right?
No.
Brett Baer actually asked Scott Bessent about this tonight at the White House, which in this video, I have no clue why, but Scott Bessent is wearing a black jacket that says police on the back, and I can't figure that out for the life of me. But ignore that and just pay attention to this question from Brett Baer.
Every day, and my prediction is that first quarter, second quarter, what we are going to see is we have brought the inflation down. It is curving down. And real income, the other side of that equation is real income growth, and we are going to see this from all this investment.
Would a $2,000 tariff dividend check going to people be inflationary?
Well, there are a lot of things that are going to happen next year.
Is that one of
them? And that could be one of them. And again, maybe we could persuade Americans to save that.
Now, isn't it illegal to wear a police jacket if you're not a police officer?
I don't know the answer to that. I wish I did. Yeah, you're impersonating a police officer. I don't know, something like that. I want to see the full jacket because it said police and then it said something underneath it, but I couldn't tell what it was. But anyhow, their major plan here is they're going to give us $2,000, but they're going to try to persuade us to save it. Don't spend it. If you spend it, you're hurting inflation. Save it. Put it in your savings. America, everybody's in debt. We're all going to spend it right away. But anyhow.
Now, is this the same $2,000 they're going to give us for our insurance?
No, that's separate. We'll talk insurance
later. We're going to get more money for insurance. Okay.
Yes. So maybe it's combined. I don't know.
Back to things crashing.
Okay.
Foreclosures are up 20%.
Foreclosures and late credit card payments and late car payments and everything is at like 2008 levels right now.
Yep. Measles are up.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to share this with you. All right. I'm pretty sure I brought this up before, this same chart, but U.S. measles case hit highest level since declaring eliminated in 2000. I started to read an article and I didn't have access to it, but they were saying that we're about to get taken off the measles free list.
Gotcha. So yeah,
Okay.
we've no longer eradicated measles.
Right.
Yeah.
So as of July 7th, 2025, we have 1,281 cases.
July 7th is like 6 months ago, dude. 7 months ago.
Yeah,
You need some updated data, which I don't think they're tracking it anymore. I think
I don't think they're tracking anymore,
if
but
they are, they're not
here's
releasing
the
it.
most up-to-date map that I've found. And this actually, okay, so this is January 1st through November 14th.
Okay.
1,721. So now we have 1,721.
Okay.
But okay, you see, Texas, mostly the Amarillo area over here,
That's not even Amarillo. That's
West Texas.
yeah, I mean that's like a
There's one.
rural area, and apparently there's a lot of oh, I watched a story about this, but it's a lot of people that are like fundamentalist Christian groups that like don't believe in any forms of medication. It's certain groups, and it spiked in those communities where it's like these communities of people that are all belong to the same church, and like one of them got it, and then they all got it.
Yeah, I mean 414 cases in an area that probably has 414 people.
Yeah, and they all go to the same church, and they don't believe in any forms of medication.
So measles, and I think I had one more thing. Oh yeah, I almost forgot.
Oh yeah.
Epstein.
Oh, hold on, wait. Before you get to Epstein, can I give you one more just medical oh shit real quick?
Oh, here we go.
Check this out.
Washington man severely ill with unpredictable virus never before seen in humans. Oh shit.
I don't know. I don't know anything else about that. I just saw that headline right before we came on. Washington man severely ill with unpredictable virus never before seen in humans. Published today. So, like, when I saw that, I was just like, sure, perfect. Like that. That sounds about right. Let's go ahead and do the new virus now. Why wait till the last year of Trump's term? Let's do it now.
And all viruses are spread within humans, right?
I believe viruses spread, I think, by
Okay.
definition. I think. I don't know that for sure. I'm not a doctor, but it
So we
sounds
could be
right.
going through another pandemic, and we have Tweedledee and Tweedledum at the helm.
Dr. Oz and RFK
Yeah,
are going to
Tweedledee
save
and
the day.
Tweedledum.
Them and Joe Rogan are going to start getting the word out right now for everybody to exercise and get plenty of vitamin D. Just get
Yeah.
on it now, and that'll probably save you from whatever's happening here. So
I'm terrified. I was thinking
yeah.
about moving out of the canyon and into the city, but like with everything going on, like I feel like the canyon might be the safe spot. I might.
Yeah. Which hopefully that was a headline and we won't hear anything about that ever again and that'll just go away. But like
Yeah.
that's one of those where like mystery illness that it's never been found in man. Okay, cool. Like that's awesome. So anyhow,
Right.
now we can move on to Epstein.
So
Has
yeah,
there
I think
been,
that was the last thing I had about everything crashing down around Trump.
I have more stuff crashing about Trump, and we're going to get to it later, but I do have a
Okay.
couple more things for you. Epstein, what happened with Epstein? I haven't been paying attention to the news. Is there anything happening?
Well, they just passed. They're going to release the Epstein files, I
They,
guess, in the
no,
House. They passed it in the House. It was like only one person, some dipshit in Louisiana, voted no.
so
I mean, that guy is going to be marked for life with this.
yeah, so Representative Clay Higgins from Louisiana, he's the one that voted against it. He is very, very MAGA and pro-Israel. That's all I really know about him. He's one of those type.
And pro pedophile. Apparently pro pedophile.
So I did hear, I think this was on the Bulwark podcast, and I can't remember who said it, but they're calling it, the GOP, Republicans, the Grand Old Party GOP, they're calling it a GOP-pedophile. I thought that was hysterical. He's a GOP-pedophile. Anyhow,
does he ever like go on? I want him to go on Fox News or CNN and explain himself. Like, why is he the only person that voted no on this?
I think he did put out a statement about why he did, but I don't remember what it said. It wasn't interesting enough. It was a lot of blah blah blah. So, but yeah. So real quick in the House, all but him. I think it was like 437-1 or something like that.
Yeah.
Voted for it. 435-1, something like that.
Some Republicans no voted, right?
No, only him. He's the only one that everybody else showed up and voted yes. So it was unanimous except for that guy. And then this is interesting. So in the House, once they realized it was going to pass, I can't remember, Tim Burchett, I think, tried to offer it up for unanimous consent. If there's no objections, let's just pass it. Democrats blocked that because they wanted everybody to go on record. Because of that, we now have a damn near unanimous, and that's going to force the Senate's hand. Now, the exact opposite happened in the Senate tonight, okay? In the House, it was real important that Democrats wanted people to go on record, and that would kind of force their hand. Now, Mike Johnson and a couple of the people in the House said this morning that they're hoping that when this gets to the Senate's going to tweak some of the language in it, and we'll get to why in a second. And then it would have to go back to the House for another vote, and basically anything they tweak is going to make it to where they don't have to disclose as much. So that's bad. So Chuck Schumer, who needs to leave, but he has a few tricks up his sleeve, he got up today and said, hey, this passed almost unanimously in the House. Let's just do a unanimous consent. If there's no objections, let's just, as soon as it's transmitted from the House to the Senate, it is automatically passed. And the Republicans, I don't think any of them wanted to go on record and be the one to object. So they just said, okay, deal. So it is already passed the House or the Senate. Sorry.
I didn't hear that it passed the Senate. Okay.
So nice. No vote needed. Unanimous consent. As soon as it gets there, it's automatically passed. It goes to Trump. He did that basically to stop them from being able to tweak what the language was. So sneaky move by Schumer there.
Okay, Schumer. So, I got you.
But now the way it's written, it says, I can't remember exactly what it says, but basically it gives them the release what you can. But if it would jeopardize an ongoing criminal investigation or something else, then obviously that's a good reason not to do it. So now it's up to Trump's going to sign it, and then Pam Bondi's going to say, okay, we'll give you what we can, but we got to keep a lot of it because we're investigating a lot of stuff right now. And the only person that could hold her accountable there is Trump. Also, Trump tried to come out the night before the vote. Once he lobbied so hard, him and Mike Johnson, to not let this get to the floor. And then once he realized he was going to lose the vote, he comes out and goes, I said on Friday, as I said on Friday, they should all vote for it. It's like, no, find me a piece of tape where you said on Friday that they should all vote for it. That never happened. But he realized the way it was going to go, and he couldn't take a loss. It's been a bad couple of weeks for Trump, and he couldn't take another loss. So
he took the loss. He took the loss, but he made it sound like it was a win.
Yeah, he turned it into a win for him. Oh, they did exactly like I said. They all voted for it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If he's for releasing it, the whole point of this discharge petition was because he wouldn't declassify it. So now the House and the Senate are having to put through a bill to make him declassify it. He is the president. You know how he declassified the JFK files and the MLK files and the alien, whatever it was. All he has to do is say, hey, this is declassified, release it all. We don't have to do any of this other bullshit if he really wanted it declassified. But he likes it this way because now he's going to say, hey, we signed it. Now it's up to Pam Bondi. Ooh, Pam said that a lot of it's still under investigation. So what can you do? Like, that's where we're heading with this.
I think this is going to look bad for him. Like, there's a lot of his supporters that want the Epstein file released because they made it sound like it was bad. And,
it's already looking bad for Trump. Like, this is fracturing MAGA, and we're going to talk about a couple different ways it is real quick. First of all, there has been rumors about Melania and Epstein that, like, you always kind of hear that apparently Melania dated or fooled around with Epstein before Trump. Sure. Like, that was, but I've never seen anybody go on record with that. It's like one of those things that you hear, but like, there's no source. I got a video.
Well, I think Michael Wolff was the source, wasn't he?
Michael Wolff has alluded to it, but he hasn't said for sure, and he doesn't have evidence. He's just said that there's rumors about it, basically.
But there was something where Epstein was on record saying that they shared women or shared girlfriends.
Oh, they definitely shared. There's one girl in particular that people know they shared. But as far as Melania goes, she was over 18. I don't know how old she was, but yeah, they apparently passed her back and forth. Anyhow, which real quick, I can't imagine like passing a woman back and forth with any of my buddies. Like once you've slept with Docs, I'm not going to sleep with you again. Like, that's kind of, I don't know why. Like, that would be weird to me anyhow.
It's a little odd, yeah.
A little odd. There's a guy in this clip. He is the author of a biography on Prince Andrew. Just listen to this clip real quick. This is the first time I've ever seen anybody on record say this.
So here we are with him in Mar-a-Lago, as you see, with Epstein. Sorry, can you see okay? Epstein, a woman called Gwendolyn Beck, who Andrew took to the island, and Melania. I had various references in my book to Melania Trump. Epstein had actually been her lover before Trump, but Trump didn't like that in the book, so he ordered it to be taken out of the book. After about 60,000 copies had been printed, so it seemed to be a pretty pointless gesture, but anyway, my publishers did it, but I keep spreading the word.
So,
but I keep spreading the word.
So that's a believable story. He said that Trump, probably with lawyers, told them he had to take it out after they'd already printed 60,000 copies. They then had to destroy because probably Trump lawyered up and said, "Hey, if you put this in your book, I'm gonna." So anyhow, I'm just saying, of all the times I've heard rumors about this, that's the first person I've seen say it on tape that seems to know.
Was Melania trafficked?
I wouldn't go that far, but Melania definitely came over here as a model. There were a lot of like Eastern European, like Ukrainian and Slovakian and Slovenian, like women that came over here as models and ended up dating rich dudes in New York. That was a thing in the night. There was one agency, the agency that brought Melania over, like it was more of like a sugar daddy type situation from the way it's been described to me. Like it wasn't straight up. It was, I mean,
But
it
she
pretty
ended
much
up
is.
with Epstein and then Donald Trump, who both kind of trafficked women.
And I think the one thing we do know is that Epstein introduced Trump to Melania. I've heard that on record, I believe.
After
But
he had his fill. Oh, but remember there was that check with like, I think it was like $25,000 or $45,000.
that was a different girl. I can't remember that might have been the girl that that everybody knows they passed back and forth. That might have been her.
And Epstein, and it was kind of an inside joke where Epstein
Yeah.
sold it to Trump for X amount of dollars or whatever.
Referred to her as a fully depreciated woman or something like that. Yeah. So terrible. So anyhow, so I thought that was interesting. If Melania really like dated Epstein, like I feel like, how are they keeping that secret if that is true? I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just that seems like that would come out by now.
I mean, this isn't the first time I've heard it, and that's not the first guy I've heard it from. So it kind of seems
Yeah.
like it is true.
Could be. So
Maybe
anyhow,
it wouldn't surprise me. Would it surprise you?
no, not at all.
They're
Not
both
at all.
depraved.
Yeah. They've
On
kind
this
of
same note, did you hear there's rumors circulating that Trump is banging his office aide.
no, so he was the rumor is in the Epstein emails, people remember how I told you there was Tom Barrack and Bannon, and there were a couple other people that were in Trump's White House that were emailing Epstein all the way up to the point he went to jail. So people in the administration, and in those emails, they were saying like, yeah, Trump's bragging that he's banging his one of the office aides at the White House. And I've seen her picture. She's young, she's attractive. She left in 2019 and has no comment on this whatsoever. So it seems very believable. Like that's the least shocking thing. Like, oh, it turns out Trump's banging some White House intern. Like, I totally believe that. That's not even weird.
I just vaguely caught a little earful of it earlier, and I was just like, "There's no way Trump can get it up anymore."
Back then, this is 2017, 2018, maybe.
It's believable. It's believable back then. Now, I don't. Well, he's going to change his diaper first.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyhow, on the Epstein stuff, real quick. One thing, there's been all the rumors about Epstein being linked to intelligence. I don't want to say he wasn't like getting a paycheck from the CIA, but they use people, they call it cutouts, to communicate between different governments and all that. So everybody, I think, that's been paying attention at this point would agree. It looks like he was some kind of an intelligence asset, whether it be ours or Israel's or possibly Russia's now, it looks like. But he had some connections.
For sure.
Mike Johnson today, right before they passed the bill, was speaking, and he was putting all the blame on Democrats. This is all Democrats' fault. This hasn't been released yet, blah, blah, blah. But he said one important part right in the middle of his speech. Check this out real quick.
National security concerns, okay? The discharge requires the Attorney General to release within 30 days, quote, classified information to the maximum extent possible. This ignores the principle that declassification should always rest, and always has rested, with the agency that originated the intelligence. Why? So that they can protect their critical sources and methods. It is incredibly dangerous to demand that officials or employees of the DOJ declassify materials that originated in other agencies, in intelligence agencies.
What do intelligence agencies have to do with a guy in South Florida trafficking women inside the U.S. I don't know. It seems really odd. So it seems like a big part of the files are going to come from our intelligence agencies, possibly his connections with foreign governments, I'm going to guess. Like that's
Yeah.
what I want to see. That's exactly what I want to see. And he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like we got to make sure this doesn't come out. No, no, no.
Right.
That's the key part. That's what anybody following this, that's the part we desperately want to see. And he's acting like, well, that's the part we got to make sure doesn't happen.
Yeah, we want to know everything.
Yep.
We want to know who Epstein was connected with, who he
Which
was slanging girls to. We want to know where Trump's involvement came from. We want to know where the money was going and coming from. Like, I want to know everything about this because he was a bad dude. And how's did you hear Ghislaine? I'm going to call her Ghislaine.
okay.
Ghislaine is getting a pet puppies
Yeah,
in prison.
she gets puppy time. She has for whatever
I
reason.
don't even get puppy time.
The funniest part about this is that she has unlimited toilet paper, which is apparently a huge deal in prison. But she has unlimited toilet paper, so good for her. I don't know. Yeah, sorry. On Epstein, I think the funniest thing about it is that the right keeps doing this thing where they're like, well, the Democrats asked for it, and now they're going to find out there's Democrats on this list. And my favorite part is most Democrats online are like, yeah, if there's Democrats on the list, put them in jail. Like, we don't care. There's nobody equal to Trump on the left. I can't think of one person on the left that we would be like, no, not him. Like, even if Obama turns out to be on the list, I think most people are going to be like, he shouldn't have done it. Put him in jail. Like, I don't, if it,
There's
also,
there's only like 10 people there's only like 10 people that we know don't want this list to come out. Trump, Mike Johnson for some reason. He's just and Pam
Yeah.
Bondi, Carolyn Levitt. I guarantee you
So-
well, we know Kennedy flew on the plane like multiple times.
real quick, you said there's 10 people that don't want it to come out. That list you just gave me, there's one person that doesn't want it to come out and 10 people that will do whatever he says. That's the way I look at it. I don't think Mike Johnson gives it, like, if it wasn't for Trump telling him, you better make sure this doesn't get to the floor for a vote, I don't think Mike Johnson would care at all about it. But Trump told him, hey,
Well,
you
from
better
that
not
last video, it sounds like he's read into this Epstein thing. He's read the list.
Yeah.
I think he knows what's on there.
He probably knows what some of the issues are of why it can't be released, I would think. So,
Yep.
anyhow.
Well, and we think RFK flew on Epstein's plane, so he's definitely somewhere in
RFK
those.
admitted he flew on it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said he went to his house a couple times, so we know that.
Trump
and also-
spent numerous hours with one of the girls recently, came out.
That came out recently. It was back in like the early 2000s that he supposedly spent numerous hours with her at Epstein's house. So he obviously knew that was the implication of the email, but
By himself, yeah.
he was with them. Like he wasn't there by himself with her. He was there in Epstein. And
No, I thought it said that they were in a room by themselves together for multiple hours.
I did not see that at all. It said
Okay.
he spent time at Epstein's house with this girl, apparently when she was underage. There's a lot of implication in it, but that's the implication in the email.
Who's
so.
the girl?
That one was unnamed. We don't know who that
Okay.
was. So
It's interesting that no girl has actually come out and said Donald Trump, besides the girl who killed herself.
the girl that killed herself specifically said that every run-in she had with Trump, he was a gentleman. There was nothing like she specifically said that.
Oh no, the girl who stopped her court
Yeah,
case.
Katie
Yeah.
Johnson. That's the only.
Katie.
That's why I've told you a bunch, but I'm not going to be shocked if it turns out that Trump never did anything with an underage person here. Like I think that there's a lot of embarrassing things that Trump doesn't want to come out from this Epstein stuff, and the fact that he knew about it and didn't do anything about it is probably a big part of it. I think there's also going to be a lot of financial stuff with Epstein. I think that's where a lot of it is. But if at the end of this it turns out that, hey man, there was nothing in there about Trump diddling a kid, that's not going to shock me at all. I think if there was, if he had, I'm starting to think it would have come out by now. Like that, I'd be shocked unless he's some very
I
powerful.
wouldn't be surprised if he did. I also wouldn't be surprised if. Well, I guarantee you he was banging at least of age girls through.
Oh
Epstein.
yeah. Oh, I think.
Well,
I think we
here's
can
my
guarantee-
theory.
Okay.
Okay. Trump had how many he had a modeling agency and he had a talent or a beauty pageant agency.
Yeah.
What 30-year-old man buys an underage beauty pageant?
Donald Trump, man,
Donald Trump.
a lot of rich guys in New York.
He also had Mar-a-Lago, which we know Epstein was pulling girls from.
Mm.
Like, I think that Donald Trump was like his facilitator of like, hey, like I've got this modeling agency, I've got this pageantry, I've got this Mar-a-Lago. Epstein kind of started cruising around. I was like, I'm gonna kind of want that right there. I'm gonna take this one over here, and like maybe Epstein was giving Trump money, or maybe I don't know. I don't know, but it's weird. It's very weird that Trump had like an underage beauty pageant.
You're welcome to think whatever you want. That's another one of those where it's like, oh, if there was a pattern of girls going from Trump's agency to becoming Epstein victims, I think we'd know that by now. I think that some of these girls that have come forward, there'd be a smoke there. There's no smoke there at all, is all I'm saying.
How many like famous MAGA supporters were in Trump's pageants at one point? Because wasn't Charlie Kirk's wife?
Charlie Kirk's wife was, and Lindsay Halligan. That's
Pam Bondi?
No, God, no. Pam Bondi.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
But Lindsay Halligan and Erica Kirk as the only two I can think of.
Okay.
But also, real quick, from what we've heard through the girls that have testified about this or given interviews, like a lot of them were standing outside their high school, and like a Lincoln Town car or a limo would pull up, and Ghislaine would hop out and be like, "Hey, like you want to make some extra money?" Like it seems like we know where they were recruiting these girls off the streets in like the Palm Beach area. Like,
and wasn't Trump's ex-wife involved in some of that too?
Ivanka. So there's a lady that was in the car while I think it was Ivanka. It might have been Marla Maples. I can't remember which one, but it was like the three ladies together: Ghislaine, one of Trump's wives, and this other lady. They were in the car, and like she was like, "Oh, hey, stop right here!" And she hopped out and started trying to recruit two underage girls. And that girl, apparently, the girl telling the story, got like alarmed by this, and they tried to like buy her off with like presents. They started giving her gifts and stuff to like calm her down about the situation. But she's been on record for a long time about that. Like she thought that was incredibly creepy and did not like that. So,
man.
So we're gonna find. We're gonna get. I guarantee you, they're gonna give us a little bit. They're gonna try to give us enough to make us shut up and go away, but they're not gonna give us all of it. And they're gonna say, "Well, we can't give you the rest because we just opened all these new investigations." So that's
the crazy thing is that in those emails they had that you showed us that bubble last time that looked kind of like a sperm.
Yeah.
And like Trump was the vast majority of the email was listed in the vast majority of the emails.
Well, that was mostly them talking about Trump. Like Trump wasn't ever exchanging emails with him. They were talking. A lot of times it was Epstein clearly not liking Trump. Like he was mad at Trump by that point. Like by the time Trump had become, and Trump started throwing Epstein under the bus in 2015 when he was running for president the first time. Like it's funny because I said recently there's been a lot of Trump supporters that have been talking nonstop about like we need to release the files, but Trump was kind of quiet about it. Trump wasn't really the one saying it, but if you go back to 2015, Trump is the one that first brought this into the conversation. Basically, like when he was running, he kept accusing like all these elite Democrats socializing with Jeffrey Epstein. So.
But what do you think about that dog didn't bark and that dog is Trump?
Oh, I still think that I think Epstein was suspecting that Trump had ratted on him and was telling the cops stuff. That makes so much sense in the context of that email is that Epstein started to go down and either Trump saw it was happening and he ran to the police to hey, I'll tell you everything, like trying to cover his ass. Like I'll tell you whatever you want to know. Or they went to Trump and they said, "Hey, what do you know about this?" And he panicked and he was like, "I will tell you fucking everything as long as it keeps me out of jail." Like I think that was definitely part of it.
I'm still convinced that that massage parlor that the owner of the Patriots got caught in was owned by Epstein.
There's
just too many. There's too many dots to connect there.
You realize how easily provable that would be if that was the case, and that's not. Yeah. Again,
everything's easily provable unless you can't get the files.
Okay, you're welcome to think whatever you want, is all I'll say. You have a lot of fantastical ideas. What we know is bad enough. You're like the problem is with the left.
Isn't Bill Belichick friends with Trump?
Yeah, they are friends.
And Trump has a golf course in Juniper.
Oh yeah. If you look,
okay.
I saw a map at one point where it showed that stretch of like what they call like a barrier island or whatever, like there's like a barrier island that's just off the coast. There's an intercoastal waterway, and then this island, and it listed like, here's Robert Kraft's house, here was Epstein's house, here's Mar-a-Lago, and it was like 50 people that you would know their name. I'm exaggerating a bit, but like that whole island is like, oh, and the heir to the Kraft macaroni and cheese, fortune or whatever. It was all those people, and they all have houses on this one sliver of land. Like,
And it just so happens they're all in the sex trade.
not all. I mean, we know of 3: Trump, Epstein, and Robert Kraft. And Robert Kraft,
All living on the same island.
okay, let's back up real quick. Robert Kraft went and got a happy ending massage.
Uh-huh.
That is wrong. That's not at all on the same level as what Epstein was doing and you think Trump was doing.
There's so many accounts of Epstein getting erotic massages, or having his girls give erotic massages, right?
So would you say that anyone who's ever gotten a happy ending massage is on the same level of Epstein?
No, but they're all on the same island, and they're all wealthy human beings living on the same island, getting happy endings.
Epstein was doing a lot more than getting happy endings, but anyhow.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So different cases is all I'm going to say. So
It's a different case, but I think there's a connection. There's definitely a connection.
yeah, with Trump, there's a thing that the far right and the far left both do that drive me nuts. Trump does it more than anybody, but it's like, hey, the actual like what we know is already pretty bad. That's enough. But for some reason, people have to take it and then like try to make it even more worse. But then you lose people doing that, where all of a sudden it's like, oh, like I can tell this guy's just straight. He's just pulling shit out of his ass at this point. So now I don't know if I trust any of it.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Kraft and
Oh,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
there's obviously dots that could be connected there. You can't say that there's not dots that you can't connect.
I've never seen one time Robert Kraft and Epstein connected anywhere. I've not seen anybody accuse them of being friends. I have no clue when Robert Kraft moved to that part of Florida. I'm just saying I've never even seen anybody speculate about that. And people hate the Patriots and hate Robert Kraft. If there was possibly a connection there, it would be talked about. That's all I'm going to say. And maybe once we get the full files.
I know I'm the only one that's putting these dots together. I haven't heard this from anybody else. But when I heard Juniper and I looked up Trump, he has a golf resort in Juniper, and Epstein has a place in Juniper, I guess, too.
Again.
And now Robert Kraft's getting a happy ending, which Epstein and Trump are known for happy endings. I'm just putting all.
Hold on. You just made that up. That you're doing like Tucker Carlson, where Tucker's like, Tucker's like, well, we know this is true, and we know this is true. So then, wouldn't it be reasonable that this is true? And it's like, yeah, but one of the things you just said isn't true, so it kills your whole argument. Trump is known for getting happy endings. Where'd you pull that out of?
No, so
you just invented that.
But that one girl she was the masseuse at his club. Epstein stole from her.
Virginia Giuffre. She's the one girl that said Trump never did anything inappropriate around her.
Right. But she was working as a masseuse, and Jeffrey Epstein stole her to give massages for him. That's like a direct line to Trump.
Hold on, wait. That somehow means that she gave a happy ending to Trump, is what you're trying
to say. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say she gave a happy ending to Trump. She said she didn't. She didn't.
Back up. You said we know that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein like to get happy ending massages. I'm asking you, where did you pull the fact that nobody's ever accused Trump of getting a happy ending massage?
Epstein's pulling masseuses from Trump's Mar-a-Lago. That's the line. He's pulling masseuses from Mar-a-Lago. They both live in Juniper. There's a high-end happy ending place in Juniper, Florida. And I would imagine that Epstein owns that place.
Owns what? The place that Robert Kraft got
that would be my guess. I mean, maybe. Who knows? I can't wait till these documents come out.
This is like trying to interview Mike Johnson. I'm going to ask you again. You said that we know that Donald Trump has a history of getting happy ending massages. That's what you said.
Okay.
I dare to rephrase that.
I don't know if that's exactly what I said, but we know that Epstein stole masseuses from Trump.
Yes.
At least one masseuse from Trump.
Now, but here's where you're wrong on that, or you're partially right. This wasn't Donald Trump's personal masseuse. There is a spa at Mar-a-Lago. Yeah. She worked in the spa. I've never heard any mention that she's ever given him a massage ever. Okay?
Right.
Yeah, she just worked in the spa.
But you could imagine that Trump is getting massages at his spa, right?
I've never heard that said. Yeah,
Okay.
I have no clue. No
I
clue
don't
if
know.
he's got
Yeah.
massages.
Who
Yeah,
knows? Who knows? There's just a lot of dots that could be lined up.
there's not.
It's just complete.
Okay, we're moving on. If all this comes out and you're right, and it turns out that Robert Kraft, Donald Trump, and Epstein were all part of some happy ending massage ring, then I will totally give you full props on this.
You will start calling me a clairvoyant from now
Yes, I hope you end up being right on that. All right, moving on from Epstein. Donald Trump had a guest at the White House today. Have you seen anything about
on.
this?
Oh my God, yeah.
So, MBS.
Why does he keep having these terrorists at the White House?
What's I don't know. It's weird. That's all I'm gonna say is it's weird. So MBS, this is his first time back at the White House since the murder of Jamal Khashoggi. He was a Washington Post reporter that was born in Iran, had bad things to say about, or not Iran, sorry, born in Saudi Arabia, had a lot to say about human rights violations in Saudi Arabia. Escaped.
Our own Defense Department, our own intelligence department said that Jamal Khashoggi ordered the killing, or whatever his name is, ordered the killing of Jamal Khashoggi, right?
Yeah, they have a high degree of certainty on that.
Yeah.
Trump disagrees. It's not the first time that he's disagreed with his own intelligence agencies. Also, Trump gave an interview to Bob Woodward like in 2022 when he was down at Mar-a-Lago, and he asked him pretty directly about this, and Trump was like, you know what? I saved his ass. They were trying to get him for that, and I saved his ass. And then at that point, Woodward tried to ask, like, what exactly, how did you save his ass? And he's like, I just saved him. They were trying to go after him from that, and I protected him. And it was like, so he knows.
Why are you protecting a murderer from Saudi Arabia?
Anyhow, his name is like Mohammed bin Salman. They call him MBS. Jake Tapper on CNN. I don't like networks. I like anchors, and I like Jake Tapper, and I like that there's times where he just doesn't give a flying F, and he's just going to say what he thinks. Today was one of those days. I'm going to let Jake Tapper talk about who is at the White House today.
We're standing by to see the president and first lady greet Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Presumably he's washed the blood off his hands, whom they are hosting for a lavish dinner. The pomp and circumstance that we're seeing, along with the warmth and the praise and the denial of Saudi Arabia's actual record, is something more typical of a visit from an allied Western democracy instead of a monarchy with a checkered human rights record. The visit to the U.S. marks the very first for MBS since the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, who worked for the Washington Post 7 years ago. Earlier today, President Trump even defended the Crown Prince when he was pressed about his murder.
As far as this gentleman is concerned, he's done a phenomenal job. You're mentioning somebody that was extremely controversial. A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen. But he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that.
By all means, don't embarrass the guest. There it is, President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump at this dinner honoring MBS, who, just to remind everybody, Trump's own CIA said that MBS ordered the murder and dismemberment of a Washington Post journalist. And the first couple is right there, getting ready to honor MBS for coming to the United States.
Melania always looks so uncomfortable when she's meeting a murderous dictator.
Yeah, she might have a conscience. We might have to realize that. But real quick, Jake Tapper started off there saying presumably he's washed the blood off his hands. He made sure to point out at the end that the CIA concluded that he did order and know about the killing, but Trump's defending him. So good on Jake Tapper. He sounded like he wasn't putting up with this BS today. So appreciate that out of our media every now and then.
Well, it's insane. Who did we have last week?
We had the former head of ISIS, who's now the head of Syria.
Yeah, didn't you say there's videos of him beheading people?
There's videos of him, or there's pictures of him holding people's heads, severed heads, in his hand.
And Trump is inviting these terrorists to the White House.
The inviting Saudi Arabia to the White House, the only reason I'll give him a bit of a pass on that, just a tad of a pass, is because
he has a golf course there?
No, it doesn't matter if it's Republican or Democrat. Whatever president we have kisses Saudi Arabia's ass. Biden made a trip to Saudi Arabia at one point. It's oil, and it's the fact that we need the bases over there and that they're against Iran, which is big. Like Iran and Saudi Arabia have not liked each other for a long time. So there's a lot of like geopolitical reasons why it helps for us to be good with Saudi Arabia. And also, if we did anything to piss off Saudi Arabia, they got a lot of oil and wealth, and they could happily turn to Russia or China very easily, and we know that. So Biden went over there. Obama, like every president turns a blind eye to their human rights violations in their country, and we act like, oh
It's
no, no,
not a
no.
human rights violation. They murdered an American citizen.
Well,
Not only an American citizen, an American journalist.
yeah, they also they throw gay people off the roofs of buildings for being gay. Like it's
Yeah.
interesting.
I mean, what would George Bush do first? First George Bush. What would he have done there?
Oh, I'm sure he was kissing their ass too.
But they didn't. I mean, but if they had murdered a American journalist on their soil, what would he have done?
Yeah, I don't. So
Him or any president before George Bush the first.
Yeah,
they
I
probably
think,
would have went after Saudi Arabia.
I think it would have been different. Yeah, definitely would have been different. But I'm just saying, like, we all know what MBS did, and then Biden even went over there. And Biden, there's a video where Biden got out of the car and fist bumped him, and Biden didn't say shit about Jamal Khashoggi. So I mean, that's the only reason I'm just saying be mad at Trump, but like this is not a partisan thing. Like right, left, like we are very much we're in ass kissing mode with them. So that's all I got to say. But the rest of the press conference, Trump has been feisty with the media the last 2 weeks, and it's understandable. The elections 2 weeks ago on Tuesday went terribly for him, and since then it seems like he can't get a win. Like he's had a rough 2 weeks. Like
Epstein,
you said,
the stock market's crashing.
Things are not going well.
Around him.
So he's been a little pissy with the media. He had it out with the ABC reporter today. She was the one in that Tapper clip that you heard ask a question about. I can't remember what that question was about, honestly. But I got 2 clips of him dealing with her today just to run you through real quick.
Mr. President, why wait for Congress to release the Epstein files? Why not just do it now?
You know, it's not the question that I mind, it's your attitude. I think you are a terrible reporter. It's the way you ask these questions. You start off with a man who's highly respected, asking him a horrible, insubordinate, and just a terrible question. And you could even ask that same exact question nicely. You're all psyched up. Somebody psychs you over at ABC. They're going to psych. You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter.
You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter.
He was trying to go somewhere else with that. He goes, you're a terrible person and terrible. It's like that. So that's funny if it's not the president talking to a reporter in the Oval Office. But like,
it's funny
when you.
It's not good, but it's funny.
It's funny. When you have to resort to that, that means you don't have an answer to the question. Like it's like you're name calling. I know I've won the argument. Like. She asked him a pretty straightforward question. I think the question there was, why not just go ahead and release it? Like, you have the power to release it. Why are you making Congress and the Senate go through this? If you want them released, just release it. That was her question. He did not want to have to answer that question, so he just wanted the attack. And, like, didn't attack... He attacked a lot of things. He attacked ABC. He attacked her as a reporter. He attacked her as a person. Like, who she is deep down inside, he attacked. Like, that's ridiculous. She got another question in, though, so let's watch one more quick clip of her from ABC.
And people are wise to your hoax, and ABC's your company, your crappy company, is one of the perpetrators. And I'll tell you something.
So why not just sign it now?
I think the license should be taken away from ABC because your news is so fake and it's so wrong. And we have a great commissioner, the chairman, who should look at that, because I think when you come in and when you're 97% negative to Trump, and then Trump wins the election in a landslide, that means obviously your news is not credible, and you're not credible as a reporter. So I've answered your question. You should go and look at the Democrats who received money from Epstein, who spent their time. Larry Summers was with him all the time. That creep of the fund guy was with him all the time. What's his name? Who? Reid Hoffman. I don't know Reid Hoffman, but I know he spends a lot of money on the radical left. Reid Hoffman, in my opinion, should be under investigation. He's a sleazebag. And those are the people, but they don't get any press, they don't get any news. and you're not after the radical left because you're a radical left network. But I think the way you ask a question with the anger and the meanness is terrible. You ought to go back and learn how to be a reporter. No more questions from you. Who else has a question?
Is this how he thinks? He's
Yeah.
he's thinking.
Accordion hands.
I haven't seen accordion hands in a while.
He's
Not as much as that one.
Maybe that's a tell. That's when he's on his heels. He's defending himself like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That a lot. But did he just sick the commissioner on ABC to take their license away?
So he did. It appears that Brendan Carr, the FCC commissioner, it seems like he pretty much said that he should go after ABC now because they're. And I've learned with Trump, I don't like it when anybody talks in third person. It's just weird. They were 97% mean to Trump, and then Trump won in a landslide, and it's like you're Trump. Anyhow, And he at the end there, he's like, it's just the way you ask the question, so mean. I'm not going to go back and make you listen to it again, but her question was pretty straightforward. Like, sir, if you're in favor of releasing the Epstein files, why not just declassify them and go ahead and just get it over with? Like, that was basically her question. It didn't sound mean at all. He
isn't that illegal to have to blatantly tell any of your departments to go after somebody?
We're so far past that. I mean,
this isn't the first time he's done that with the commissioner either, right?
He's told the FCC to go after ABC because of Jimmy Kimmel. He's recently had a kick about Seth Meyers recently, which I don't even know how many people are watching Seth Meyers, but he's been tweeting up a storm about him. He told Pam Bondi just the other day to investigate 3 Democrats and 1 bank. That was her on the couch there when he said, "What's the other guy's name?" And she was like, "Reid Hoffman, sir." And he's like, "Yeah, I think he should be investigated." He was saying that to Pam Bondi, who was sitting just underneath the camera there. So we're past that. Yeah, yes, the president's not supposed to directly tell different agencies who to go after. That's a thing of the past. I hope the next president, if it's a Democrat, flaunts it like Trump does. Because, I mean, at this point, we're not... If you try to go back to the way things were, you're an idiot. Just move on. This is how we're doing it now.
No, we can't do this. This is ridiculous.
I think we are.
Because then, I mean, then all these people have to get lawyered up and fight the government over nothing. I think if there's actually something to go after them for, then go after them.
Here's the thing.
Not just because you asked a question that Trump didn't like, he can't do an investigation or pull your license as a reporter. He also said, I remember listening to this earlier, and he also said, you're not you're subordinate.
He did say, he said, I can't remember how he worded it, but basically that,
you're not, and it's
being insubordinate or something.
He's being, you're being insubordinate, and that's exactly what a reporter is supposed to do: is be insubordinate.
Truth to power.
Have to ask questions.
It's supposed to be truth to power. That's the whole point of being a reporter, but he doesn't like that.
He's just trying to flex his dick in front of RGB or whatever the fuck that dick chick's name is.
MBS.
You
almost called him Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
I'm ramped up.
Sorry for your rampantness. Just because we're on the topic of Trump and how he treats reporters, specifically female reporters, there was an incident on Air Force One when he was coming back from Mar-a-Lago on Sunday night. The audio on this is really not good, but I want to see if you can pick up what he says to this reporter here. All right.
You're going to find out what did he know with respect to Bill Clinton, with respect to the head of Harvard, with respect to all of those people that he knew, including J.P. Morgan Chase.
Sir,
Jennifer,
there's nothing incriminating in the file, sir?
Quiet, begin.
On Venezuela, sir, you've had a lot of meetings.
Did you catch that?
Yeah, I gotta watch that again. Hold on, because he almost, it was almost like he was being like Grandpa, quiet, piggy. Like he had a little smirk on his face.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Venezuela, sir,
Quiet, begin.
On Venezuela, sir, you've had a lot of meetings.
Quiet, piggy. So he's losing Latinos like crazy, and the polling on that's been just ridiculous. Like he's lost Latinos.
Yeah.
Women vote. Women show up to vote more than men by far. The one area that Trump struggles with is like the suburban Republican woman, like that they don't like his nastiness. He's going off on that female reporter in the Oval Office. He called that reporter Piggy, which I saw a picture of her. doesn't fit at all. She seems, she's not strikingly beautiful, but she's not ugly or overweight. So very confused where that came from. He's just an asshole. I don't know, and I've seen a lot of women online are doing the whole I've seen that kind of behavior from a man. The kind of man that does that is the kind of man who blah 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 and fill in the blank. So
who rapes underage women.
That piggy comment, and then if you tack that on, we talked about it in the last show, but he had a tweet about Thomas Massey's wife, or Thomas Massey getting remarried already, and what happened, blah blah blah. A lot of Republicans really didn't like that. That was online and on the news and on Fox News. That didn't go over well. I think when he sent that, he didn't realize how that was going to be received, because what's funny is he says crazy shit to all the Democrats all day long, and the Republican voters are just yeah, whatever, it's fine. But then he said it to Thomas Massey, and they're like, nobody talks to my guy like that. They got upset. So he's bleeding women like crazy. If the Republicans are going to hold on to office in 2028 somehow, it can't be Trump for sure. And they almost need a woman at the top of the ticket or as VP, and I have the perfect one in mind. Oh my God. I'm telling you right now, I'm kind of a fan of Marge. I know that she's crazy, and I know she used to do a lot of weird things, but people change, Docs. People change.
She's tricked you, Andy. People don't change.
She's won me over, okay?
She's tricked you. You're being duped again.
I'm being somewhat sarcastic here. What I will tell you is I think it's going to work with a lot of people. People have short memories, dude. And she did something that no politician hardly ever does, and I think more politicians should do it. But check out this clip real quick and watch this amazing thing that a politician does.
You posted on X that President Trump is, with his comments, fueling a, quote, hotbed of threats against you. Obviously, any threats to your safety are completely unacceptable. But we have seen these kinds of attacks or criticism from the president at other people. It's not new. And with respect, I haven't heard you speak out about it until it was directed at you.
Dana, I think that's fair criticism, and I would like to say humbly, I'm sorry for taking part in the toxic politics. It's very bad for our country, and it's been something I've thought about a lot, especially since Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Is that I'm only responsible for myself and my own words and actions, and I am committed, and I've been working on this a lot lately, to put down the knives in politics. I really just want to see people be kind to one another, and we need to figure out a new path forward that is focused on the American people, because as Americans, no matter what side of the aisle we're on, we have far more in common than we have differences. Yeah. And we need to be able to respect each other with our disagreements.
I don't trust her.
Dude, that's fair criticism. Let me first say, I'm sorry for the way I've acted in the past. That's like a cheat code that I don't know why more politicians, I don't know why they don't do it. Say, hey, yeah, I was wrong here, and I'm sorry, and I'm going to try to be better in the future. If more of them said that, they'd be amazed at how well it would do for them. She's probably full of shit. Let's be real. Just within the last year, she was calling for a national divorce. She wanted to somehow divorce the red states from the blue states. I don't know how that would work. Jewish space lasers, QAnon, all the things in her past. But she said, even on The View, she was like, yeah, I fell for a lot of stupid internet stuff. We all get duped by stuff on the internet, and I got duped just like everybody else. She's doing a good job of not trying to deflect or change the subject. She's taking it head on and saying, yeah, I got duped by some crazy conspiracies on the internet. Or, yeah, I was part of the problem because my political rhetoric was bad. I'm sorry. I'm going to fix it. She's going to win against Trump. I'm not saying she's going to win in 2028. She's going to win the battle against Trump, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but of all the people in the Republican Party that have tried to stand up to Trump, nobody's come close to winning. He squashes them quickly. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Can you think of one person that's really even like lasted a couple of rounds with Trump?
No, she's the one that's going to do it, but I don't trust her. She's not being honest with who she actually is. She's a crazy person. Like she's been the crazy person for 8 years. I don't know how long she's been in office.
So my earliest memories of Marge were in like 2018 when the school shooting in Florida, I think it was Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, had happened, and a bunch of those kids turned into like activists. David Hogg is one of them, and his sister, and he came to Washington D.C. to like speak to congressmen or whatever, and she was following him around, harassing him, calling him like a crisis actor and saying that he wasn't really in a school shooting and that it was all fake and all like Alex Jones type shit. And she was not elected at that point. She was just a crazy lady from Florida that had like a Facebook or a YouTube following or something. That's when she was doing like QAnon videos. But anyhow, I remember seeing that and like it was a crazy lady. And then at one point they were like, yeah, and she just filed to run for Congress. And I was like, oh God, like that's I hope she doesn't win. And then she won, and we've had Marge ever since. So she's been crazy since I remember of 2018-ish.
Yeah, she's just a crazy lady, and she's blowing in the wind right now. And I think I'm so glad she's doing it. Like, good, go after Trump, break him down, take him down a notch. He's going to lose. There's another thing that's going wrong in his world. He's losing a battle against Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, and Thomas Massey. It seems like he's trying to primary both of them. He might be able to do it with Thomas Massey. It doesn't look like he's going to even come close with Marge. He might not even put any money into it because, like, it seems like the Republican Party in her county has already come out and said they're fully on her side. Like, and I'll say this, like, she's in the right on this. Like, it's a matter of public perception and messaging and blah, blah, blah. Like, she is on the right side of this fight. I'm going to present you real quick with Marge this morning before the vote in the House. There's two clips I have here, but she, without saying Trump's name, she pushes this feud a little further. Like she's turning it into a full-on battle, and I love it. I am here for this. I want more of this, Marge.
And that's what we did by fighting so hard against the most powerful people in the world, even the President of the United States, in order to make this vote happen today. I was called a traitor by a man that I fought for 6 years for. And I gave him my loyalty for free. I won my first election without his endorsement, beating 8 men in a primary. And I've never owed him anything, but I fought for him for the policies and for America first. And he called me a traitor for standing with these women and refusing to take my name off the discharge petition. Let me tell you what a traitor is. A traitor is an American that serves foreign countries and themselves. A patriot is an American that serves the United States of America and Americans like the women standing behind me. And I want to tell you that this only became possible today because the American people, whom we serve as representatives here in Congress, demanded that this vote happen, and they put more pressure on every single elected politician in this city than has ever been put on them. And today you are going to see probably a unanimous vote in the House to release the Epstein files. But the real fight will happen after that.
If you didn't know anything about her before seeing that, you would say, oh shit, that's the kind of politician I want to vote for. Like if you didn't know about her past. I'm just saying, everything she said there was spot on. She said that a traitor is someone who spends all their time focusing on foreign countries. And what was it? And I can't remember the second part of it was. And then she said, but a patriot is someone who focuses on the American people. Basically that. I didn't get it word for word, but she's saying that's been one of her and a lot of people on the right's criticisms recently is like during the whole shutdown, Trump made a trip to Japan and China and wherever he was over there, and he was dealing with foreign leaders. And it's like, dude, there's a shutdown happening, and Trump didn't seem to care. He was just working and Mike Cernovich, he had a tweet real quick. This is just kind of a little off subject, But Mike Cernovich is a far right MAGA dude. In fact, I gotta say, I think he was the one like of the Alex Jones type, almost like MAGA people that never fell for Pizzagate. So I'll give him credit for that. He was the only one that was like, nah, this is bullshit. I think I might be wrong on that.
Well, and that's the thing is Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to be able to fool the Republicans. I don't like saying that, but she can fool the Republicans, but the independents and the left are not going to buy her shit. Not after we've seen everything that she does. We have video of all the stuff that she's done in the past.
Here's the thing: if she locks down the hardcore MAGA and then she gets the Republican-leaning suburban moms, like that's the part that swings back and forth that Trump has trouble getting.
Okay.
If she can get them, like, oh, I mean, that's a coalition right there. Like, I'm not saying it's over at that point, but she doesn't need as big a chunk of the independents if she can lock down those suburban. Those ladies show up to vote. Okay, I'm just saying.
Now, are you saying that Trump's going to run in 2028?
No, I think that Marge is going to run against the Trump candidate. I don't know who it's going to be. I think the party's going to quickly start fracturing into two wings, and it's going to be whoever the Trump-backed person is versus the Marge Taylor Massey American First type, and that's going to be the
Candace Owens.
Yes, that's a coalition, and there's going to be a battle for who wins the post-Trump Republican Party. And I don't think it's going to be like the Marco Rubio. I know, like I think it's going to be the Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massey. Like I think they're going to win. That's not good for us.
They seem a little more reasonable than the MAGA folk.
They're not as divisive. Like they still like the policies. Like Marge is not a Democrat right now by any means. Like she still wants to do very far right things. She just wants to do it with a smile and be nicer about it. Which I'm not going to lie, that does seem like an upgrade over what we're doing right now.
Well, they're more populist than Trump.
Yes, they are more populist. And
Trump runs as a populist, but then when he gets in office, he
governs. Yeah, he governs as a hardcore Republican, tax cuts for the rich. Yeah. Real quick, Mike Cernovich, the Republican media guy, I guess you would call him, he said during a recent visit to D.C., the talk of everyone was how overt the corruption was. It's at levels you read about in the history books in nearly every department. Lots of, do people just think the Democrats will never win and they'll all get away with this? So he's talking about Republicans there. Like that was a shot across the bow. Like Mike Cernovich is normally going to toe the line of whatever MAGA is saying. And he basically said, dude, I just went to Washington and it's overt corruption in every department. And like they think they're never going to have to pay a price for how corrupt this is. Like a lot of people in MAGA are taking note of that right now. Like he said it, but I think they were already seeing it, but maybe that's one of those, they're seeing it, but they're not quite sure how to process it yet. And then Cernovich is saying it. And Marge has been kind of pointing that out recently. Like Donald Trump might lose the base here. And how many times have we said, okay, that's it. Trump is done. He's finished. This is the knife. And he bounces back. So I just want to be real clear. Baby. He could very, very easily bounce back from this and squash Marge. I just feel like right now it seems like we got a shot at somebody. And now, once she defeats Trump, then it's left versus right again. But right now, if you're on the left, you should be rooting for the fracture in the party. Like,
yes,
like this is awesome. Yes, let's pump Marge up and then let them battle on the right leading up to the midterms, especially. That'd be awesome. Like, let that happen.
Yeah. What do you think? 2028 Marge Tucker?
I don't know. So I thought it would be JD and Marge, but I think that Trump is going to try to force JD to be loyal to him and to like be mean to Marge. And it'll be weird to see how JD handles that, because JD's got to balance a tightrope. Because JD is honestly, he's more Marge America First, Tucker Carlson, like that's his crowd. But he's got to be loyal to Trump. So he's got to walk a tightrope here of not pissing off either side. Anytime you try to not piss off both sides, you end up pissing off both sides. That's just how it goes.
Speaking of Trump and JD, did you see South Park?
Jesus.
That was so good.
Okay.
That one scene made that whole show.
You know what? If you saw Team America World Police, There was a puppet sex scene, and at first you're like, "Oh, this is interesting. It's kind of funny." And then at a certain point, like a line is crossed where you're like, like what are we doing with puppets here?"
I think that was at the outtakes, right? They like showed the.
Yeah, I think I've seen the like unedited version or whatever,
Yeah.
the director's cut, and it gets
Yeah.
brutal.
It
And
gets
that's what the
brutal.
South Park episode was like. It was like, oh my God, like they have Trump and JD in bed together. Are they gonna? Oh, they are. Oh my God. And then all of a sudden it hit a point where it was like, oh God, no. Like that's a bit
So
much.
good.
Yeah. So anyhow, real quick on rooting for the fracture in MAGA. This is my last clip on Marge for the night. Then I'll shut up about Marge. But check this out real quick.
Files. Congresswoman Greene, you raised the question of whether or not the Justice Department will actually release these files. Do you take the president at his word when he says he's going to sign this bill, and do you have confidence that these files will actually be released?
I only take people's actions seriously, no longer words.
And what do you think the president's actions?
And I'll tell you, because I wasn't a Johnny come lately to the MAGA train. I was day one 2015, and there's a big difference in those Americans and those that decided to support President Trump later on. And I'll tell you right now, this has been one of the most destructive things to MAGA, is watching the man that we supported early on, 3 elections, for people that stood hours, slept in their cars to go to rallies, have fought for truth and transparency, and to hold what we consider a corrupt government accountable. Watching this actually turn into a fight has ripped MAGA apart. And the only thing that will speak to the powerful, courageous women behind me is when action is actually taken to release these files, and the American people won't tolerate any other bullshit. That's where we are today. Thank you.
You notice what she did there?
Yeah.
She said this is ripping MAGA apart, and she didn't say this directly, and it's Donald Trump's fault. It's Donald Trump's fault that MAGA is being ripped apart right now. She didn't say his name. That was her answer there.
Yeah.
It's
interesting.
She's being really savvy. Like, it's like she has strategists or comms people, like she probably does, that are like helping her with her angle of attack, but it's a good angle of attack. I'm just going to say.
She's doing good. Yeah. I think she's still full of shit. But
again,
you
don't know how many people don't pay attention to politics and probably know very little. They've heard her name, but they don't know about the crazy shit she's done. Yeah. And they're just going to see her on The View last week, or on CNN this weekend, or on ABC, the speech we just showed, her talking about the Epstein stuff. A lot of people are like, oh, whatever her name is, I like her. I guarantee you.
Or if you only listen to Fox News, only watch Fox News, you don't see the super crazy Marge.
Yeah.
You see that she's like fighting for Trump, with Trump, and then I don't know if Fox is covering this now. Probably not.
Fox was the only of all the major stations, they were the only ones not covering any of the stuff this morning. They didn't cover Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna and MTG with all the girls in front of the Capitol. Like, they didn't cover any of that. So
they never do. They don't cover anything that's actually going on. In fact, it's all pro-Trump.
I didn't pull it because I already had too many things, but Laura Ingraham tonight, like, basically was like celebrating on her show, like, Donald Trump got a major victory with the passing of the Epstein file release, and like was making it seem like he is the reason this happened and this is a win for him. It was very interesting. Like, I was listening to it and I was just like,
he was a big part of it, wasn't he?
Donald Trump?
Oh no. Oh, Donald Trump. I think that's okay.
No, she was saying Donald Trump. Like, he got a major win today. He's been wanting this to go through, and it did. And like, that was her angle on it. I was just,
the thing is Donald Trump could just release it no matter what. He could just say, hey, let's release the files.
Yep.
And he would release the files. So in that video, I was looking, there's somebody right behind Marjorie. He's got a beard on, and he's got a denim shirt, and he's got a random butterfly pendant on his shirt.
I'm trying to see
who it is. Is that like a video recorder?
You know what? I believe, and I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that is Virginia Giuffre's brother. She killed
Mm.
herself, but his family has been going on, or her family has been going on a lot of the shows. And
Okay.
I believe I've seen him. I think that's her brother. Not
Okay.
100% on that, but I think so.
Okay. Interesting. So that
So
might have been her pendant or something.
something like that.
I
But
just
yeah.
saw the beard and the weird butterfly pendant, and I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, no, I think that's what's happening there. So
Okay.
anyhow, that's all I'm going to make you listen to on Marge. But I'm going to continue to try to. I'm trying to warn you. Like a couple weeks ago, I was telling you, I was like, dude, Marge is making a run for like the middle. Like she's trying to be a sensible Republican, and you've kind of whatever. She's not. I'm warning you. You're going to have to deal with this in 2028. I'm just telling you. It'd be
Yeah,
wise to start paying attention now. That's
I
all
can
I'm
see
trying to say.
that. Yeah. And is she gonna hold on to this till 2028?
I think she's going to get more and more people behind her. I think she's going to be a rocket ship. And she's not like here's the thing. Like she's gone on Tucker. She's gone on all the like the right wing. She's not afraid to. I'm shocked she hasn't been on Joe Rogan yet. And mark that down. That's going to happen real soon,
Yeah.
I have a feeling.
She's a grifter, man.
She's really good at it.
She's really good at grifting. So
I
is
think
JD Vance. So is Donald Trump. I mean,
it's you could say, and I'm speculating that she started to see that sentiment was turning against Trump. What Trump's doing isn't working, and it's only going to get worse. People are starting to rumble a little bit about not being satisfied, and maybe she saw it and she calculated, here's the lane that I could be in to basically be able to take up the mantle of the MAGA or Republican Party once Trump is gone. This might be completely calculated, and I think it is, honestly.
yeah,
But like she's also doing a great job at it. Like it's like Gavin Newsom. Like Gavin he'll be whatever we want him to be. Like he wants to be president. So you tell me what you want and I'll be that guy. And he's
hmm
good at it. You got to give him style points because he's very slick with the way he does it. Like
sure.
think of a Gavin versus Marge election. I think Marge wins that.
You think Marge wins that?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
You think Marge will be our first woman president?
Right now, if I had to just say who the first woman of all the available candidates right now, Marge is the one that has the best percentage chance. I'm not saying she's going to be. I'm just saying of all the possible women right now that could be president, Marge would have the best odds in Vegas.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
Who would you put?
And
in
I could
front
be
of her?
wrong. I was wrong on the last election. I was completely wrong on the last election. It devastated me.
What woman, possible presidential candidate, would you put ahead of Marge on odds right now?
Who would I vote for ahead of her?
No.
AOC.
Who do you think? Who, if you were betting money in Vegas, who has a better chance than Marge?
Right now?
Right now,
AOC.
of all the possible candidates right now,
I think
out there,
AOC could beat her.
I don't think so.
No?
No. I think AOC will be very well helped by running for Chuck Schumer's Senate seat in 2026 or 2028, I think is when it is.
Mhm.
Get his Senate seat and spend 4 to 8 or would it be 6 to 12 years in the Senate and then run. I don't think she's ready. Like I don't. She doesn't seem like we've talked about this a lot, but when I hear Bernie speak, it's like, yeah, he believes this. And then
She's
you hear
getting there.
AOC speak and you're like, man, she's repeating the script. That's how I feel about her.
You know who fires me up every time I hear her speak?
Who?
Jasmine Crockett. I
Okay.
fucking love Jasmine Crockett. She gets me pumped every time she's in front of Congress talking.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, yeah, you fucking say it.
I think she's a former lawyer, honestly. I just saw that recently, but it would make sense. Like she comes across, I'm probably gonna say this in a bad way, but she comes across as like a black girl from the streets. Like she kind of has that fiery attitude, but then
Sure.
you're looking, you're like, oh, like she's a lawyer. Like, so she's a lawyer with that confrontational attitude. Awesome.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
Who else? I mean, what other women do we have in
I'm telling you,
that are
Nancy
in
Mace.
that? No, she can't do anything.
They're just women on the left. What woman on the left? Gretchen Whitmer, Amy Klobuchar, Liz Warren.
No, I want somebody with some fire.
Okay, there's not one out there. AOC and Crockett.
AOC and Crockett have fire. Yeah, I mean
They're nowhere close to possibly being president. I'm just gonna say.
Hmm.
AOC is closer than Crockett by a long shot, and I don't think
just because she has a name, right? Just because she's more known.
she has a name, but I would worry about her being on stage in a debate.
AOC.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how she debates. Like,
I'd want to see it because I'd be
I'm sure there's videos out there. We could check it out.
We'll see. So anyhow, I'm done with Marge real quick. I do have to tell you that the economy is getting so bad that Fox is having to be honest with their viewers about it, and it's kind of interesting.
Fox is being honest?
Fox is being kind of honest. So the first time I saw them talk about it was kind of in a cheerful way, which was a little weird.
They're in a cheerful way?
Yeah, I don't know a better way to set this clip up. Check out Fox's tips for holiday spending.
Budget, budget, budget. You need a plan. Also, remember, adults don't need gifts, okay? Focus on the people in your life who are age 3 to 18. Grandma doesn't need slippers. If they don't live by you, don't get them a gift. Now's not the time to spend and break the bank sending packages across the country, Dana. Focus on the people in your life, ages 3 to 18. That's my 30 seconds for you.
Jade, you're
Don't buy grandma a gift. Fuck grandma.
The message from Fox is fuck grandma. She don't need slippers. And also children that are 0 to 3 years old also do not need Christmas gifts. They won't remember it.
They won't remember. Yeah.
Focus on age 3 to 18, and don't buy gifts for people that live far away and have to pay for shipping. It's like she doesn't know about Amazon. Amazon's so great when you order things off of there and ship it directly to people's house.
Stop using Amazon.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
They're an evil corporation. Stop buying from Amazon. Everybody, stop buying from Amazon.
That was late last week, that clip. And I just thought I saw that several times online. And I was like, whoa, hold on. Like, here's tips of how to get through the holidays in this current economic environment. Pretty much that's what I took out of that.
But just last week, Trump was saying that Thanksgiving was down 25% from last year.
Which... Kevin Hassett drew the short straw this weekend and had to go on a lot of the morning shows, and Stephanopoulos at ABC like flat out was like, hold on, let me stop you, that's not correct, and then broke down the whole Walmart basket. And then Kevin Hassett was just like, well, but when you look at the price of gas, it's come down a lot. It's like, well, hold on, dude. So
okay, you lied to me once, and now you're going to pivot and say,
yes.
The price of gas is down a little bit. It's down here. It's down like 25 to 30 cents.
I think like 20, 25 cents where I'm at, and I'm awesome. I keep going. And sorry, I'm going to get in the weeds here a little bit. I don't understand enough about this to explain it further than what I'm about to say. But apparently, like, we will never get $2 gas, and it's a mathematics thing. It's not just we're not going to get it. No, it's the way the math works. To get $2 gas, we have to be producing gas and oil here in America. We have to be fracking and all that. If gas gets below about $2.35 a gallon, it becomes not efficient for us to drill here. It costs us too much to drill here. So we would then stop drilling here and start buying from overseas more, which would then drive the price back up because supply and demand. Like I said, I'm not the best with this, but there's like a magic number, and it's about $2.35 a gallon. If it gets below $2.35, things start to happen. It can't get below there. Just gonna say. Now,
have you seen Landman?
I have not watched it. I want to. I hear
it's so good.
Yeah,
and he actually breaks it down in one of the episodes of the first season, and he talks about like gas has to be between this and this, or we don't make money.
Yeah,
like the oil companies and the gas companies they know exactly how to keep their gas prices between that number and that number, and that's what they're going to do. They're not going to lose money.
Yep. So, at one point in Trump's first term, it was right at the end of his first term, Saudi Arabia and a couple other Middle East countries were like pumping a lot of oil onto the market. And at the time, we weren't driving a lot because of COVID. Like, people weren't driving back and forth to work. So, like, remember during that time, like the ozone layer and like whatnot got like better because of less pollution. Yeah. Anyhow, though, the price of gas was falling too low because of all the supply on the market. So Trump called the OPEC countries and told them to please stop releasing so much gas so the price can go back up. So, and it's one of those where it's like the president called and asked them to make the price of gas higher. What the heck? But then you realize the oil companies and lobbying and...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. So, anyhow, the price of beef has been one thing. They're saying now the price of beef is going to get to about up 10% inflation on beef. Scott Bessent was on Fox, and they asked him about this. This is possibly the funniest thing Scott Bessent has said on air ever.
But what is your take on what you just heard? He's expecting $10 meat
Well,
a pound.
Maria, the beef market is a very specialized market. It goes in long cycles, and this is the perfect storm. Again, something we inherited, and there's also, because of the mass immigration, a disease that we've been rid of in North America, made its way up through South America. As these migrants, they brought some of their cattle with them. So part of the problem is we've had to shut the border to Mexican beef because of this disease called the screwworm. So we're not going to let that get into our supply chain. And again, I don't want to focus on one product. It's a very important product, and we are laser focused on this issue.
Did he say it came from North America up through South America?
I think what he might have misspoke there, but what he's trying to say is the immigrants from these South American countries came up to America. They brought their cattle with them and crossed. He didn't say this directly. It sounds like he's saying that they crossed the border into America, and some of them brought their cattle. Their cattle was sick, and then it then infected our herds of cattle with the screwworm thing, and that's part of the problem. So I heard that, and I was like, hold on, wait, the immigrants are bringing their cattle? Like, I've never seen that. So I will say, I was like, before I make fun of how dumb that sounds, let me get online and just see if I can find any evidence that immigrants are bringing their cattle across the border.
I hope you found that AI video I watched earlier.
No, but I did find a couple pictures, and I think I did see. It looks like they are bringing their cows. Check this out real quick. I found this on Twitter, and I don't think it's wrong. So that doesn't look Photoshopped to me, and I would say that it's possible that the immigrants are taking their cows over the big, beautiful wall and into America. Do you not buy it?
I don't buy that one bit.
I don't know what the heck he's trying to say. The immigrant cattle, the immigrants brought their cattle into America. There's times where I think
if you're Scott Bessent, you just throw an immigrant wherever you can.
I think that is part of the equation,
especially when you're talking about Mexico.
Yeah.
And did they actually have a screwworm thing in Mexico?
I'm guessing. I have no clue. Probably.
Or was that just made up? That could just be made up.
I'll bet he wouldn't have. I would hope he wouldn't have said that unless there was. Maybe there is a deal with screwworm. Here's what maybe happened: is Mexico was buying herds of cattle from South America. They were bringing the cattle up. Some of those cattle were infected. All the Mexican cattle got infected, and we now can't buy cattle from Mexico. Maybe that, but he didn't say that. He said that
he blamed it on the immigrants. He had to blame it on the immigrants. So here's what I know is like, and I think we've talked about this before, like some of because America is a richer country, we get some of the more premium cuts of beef from Mexico, while we send some of the more cherished pieces of beef, like the cow head and the tongue and the hoof.
Okay.
I don't know if they eat hoof, but back to Mexico, and there's like kind of a swap. Like, because not a lot of people here are going to boil down the head and make barbacoa, right? So then we send that to Mexico, and they send us their like premium cuts of beef. Because
it makes sense.
We have, and he said $10 a pound. Is that ground beef?
So so I was wrong. I said it's up 10%. I knew it was 10, but beef is going to be $10 a pound. They're saying here by like Thanksgiving. I don't know what kind.
It's already that here in Colorado. It's already like $10.99 a pound for ground beef.
It's like $6.50 to $7 here. So, but I live in
Oklahoma.
Yeah. So, anyhow, I did think it's interesting that Fox is very concerned with the economy right now, and they're very much letting their viewers know that like things are going south. Like you should start being tight with your money now. Like that's kind of the message Fox has been playing. So
yeah,
I'm all for that. It's worrying Republicans. It turns out some of these policies don't work too well.
Hopefully Trump will flip that switch and fix his problems.
Hopefully. Trump did make a tweet about healthcare, and we should talk about it real quick. Donald Trump said, "The only healthcare I will support or approve is sending the money directly back to the people, with nothing going to the big, fat, rich insurance companies who have made trillions and ripped off America long enough." I want to stop right there. Okay, he's right. The insurance companies are profiting up, but he's sending us the money because he said sending it directly back to the people with nothing going to the big, fat insurance companies. He's giving it to us to then give to them. It's still going to them. What's happening now is that we lost any leverage we had. Like companies get a better rate when they're trying to, they're going to buy insurance for 50 to 500 people, whatever it is, and they get a better rate. That's kind of the joy of Obamacare. And if we went single payer, that'd be amazing. They'd have all the leverage. But when you say, "Oh, I'm just going to give you the money and let you work it out," like we're going to get fucked. Like that's how this ends. But anyhow, back to the tweet.
Well, it's like every other policy that Trump makes, or like has concepts of making, just screws over the poor people and gives money to the rich people, like the 50-year mortgage.
Well, and even go back before that. We got rid of the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Like that was within the first month. Trump got rid of it, and they did a whole campaign on that. Elon Musk and Mark Andreessen and Peter Thiel all went on Rogan and complained about how the CFPB is terrible and this and that. No, it's what protects the consumer from getting screwed over and scammed by these big corporations.
By Mark Andreessen and Elon Musk and Peter Thiel.
But they got rid of that, so screw the average Joe. This government is very much friends with big business against the average Joe.
Yeah, billionaires.
Yeah. Anyhow, back to this tweet. The people will be allowed to negotiate and buy their own much better insurance. Power to the people. Congress, do not waste your time and energy on anything else. This is the only way to have great health care in America. Get it done now, President DJT. They've been saying for how long that they have a plan. They have concepts of a plan. Mike Johnson was on a Sunday show this weekend saying, she said, the lady on Fox said, when will we get to see the plan? And he goes, well, you've already seen parts of it. We've put it on the floor before, and we have some other ideas that we're working out right now. So they don't have a plan. The plan now is give everybody the money, let them negotiate themselves, let them get screwed. Welcome to Trump's America.
How much money are they giving us?
They haven't said. And it'll probably be, I'm going to guess it'd be based on how much you make, I would think. It'll basically be like the subsidies, but instead of the government paying the insurance companies directly, they're going to give it to us to give to the insurance companies. And I'll bet they're going to give us less than they would have had they just paid the subsidies.
Has any Republican in the House or the Senate talked about this yet?
I haven't heard them, only Trump. Actually, you know what? I think today there were a couple of them that were echoing this tweet by Trump.
A couple, okay.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like it's a very Republican. It seems more socialist than anything, right? Well,
the fact that they're giving us money, yes, but Republicans are like, let every individual should have the freedom to do whatever they want with their health care. If they don't want health care at all, this is the Republican point of view. But if they don't want health care, they don't have to have it. The problem is when you don't force everyone through an individual mandate, then it really skyrockets the price on everybody else because you need the healthy people in the pool to make it cost efficient, something like that.
So giving money to the people is a socialist thing, but the money ended up trickling up to the rich people like it always does.
Yes. And also that $2,000 tariff rebate check we're all going to get, like that, you could say that's socialism too, but everybody's
going to get free health care, right?
No.
But they're going to pay us to have health care.
They're going to give us some money to put towards our health care.
Towards our health care.
Yes. It's not going to be enough.
It's like a $40 check to pay for our $1,600.
They haven't said what the amount is, but I guarantee you it's not going to be enough to cover everything you need. It's going to be a little bit of a help to help you cover it.
I want to see all this in writing. Like, how is this going to work? I want to see the Republicans' healthcare plan. They keep saying they've been working on a healthcare plan for 10 years now, and they have nothing to show for it.
Trump said a week ago to Laura Ingraham that he had a plan, and it was going to be Trump care, and it was going to be cheaper and better, and all these things. And then within a week, he's saying, "No, I'm just going to give you guys money and let you work it out yourselves with the insurance companies." So
because he doesn't have anything.
Yeah, he doesn't. So. You want to end on a happy note? I got a happy note for us to end on.
Note.
Happy note. Breaking news today on Fox News. Check this out.
Fox News alert in Texas, where a federal court has blocked the state's brand new congressional map set to go into effect for the 2026 midterms. The ruling means that Texas needs to stick with the congressional maps that were passed in 2021. Judge Jeffrey Brown, a Trump appointee, says of the new maps, quote, "It was much more than just politics. Substantial evidence shows that Texas racially gerrymandered the 2025 map."
So Texas is who started this whole everybody needs to redistrict. Mm-hmm. And It looks like California is going to pull 5 or 6 seats out to match what Texas did, and now it looks like Texas is not going to get those 5 seats that they thought they were going to get. This might actually end up being a blessing for Texas because we talked about it, but
Yeah.
the way they redrew their districts was assuming the Hispanics were still going to be voting for Trump, and they could have ended up losing seats. So, like, honestly, if you're Greg Abbott, like, maybe this is a secret win for you because things could have gone horribly bad the way you redrew that map. Could have gone
But I
well.
heard they're going to take this to the Supreme Court next, right?
Oh, so yeah. So what's funny? Did you catch in that video where they said it's a Trump-appointed federal judge that did this? Attorney General Ken Paxton in Texas. He said, "Breaking: the radical left is once again trying to undermine the will of the people. The big, beautiful map was entirely legal and passed for partisan purposes to better represent the political affiliations of Texas. For years, the Democrats and blah, 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 blah. But it starts off the radical left is what? No, there's no radical left. This was a Trump-appointed judge that came out and did this. They're definitely gonna appeal it. They're gonna try to get to the Supreme Court. The fact that it was a Trump judge that said this makes me think that maybe even this seems pretty clear cut. What's interesting, I do have here why they're saying it's illegal. This is from the judge, and it's kind of written in legalese, so I might struggle to read this. But the DOJ sent a letter to the governor and attorney general of Texas making the legally incorrect assertion that 4 congressional districts were in Texas were unconstitutional because they were coalition districts, majority non-white districts in which no single racial group constituted 50% majority. I'm going to skip down to the bottom, but basically he's saying they only pointed this out for the majority non-white districts. He says any mention of majority white Democrat districts, which the DOJ presumably would have also targeted if its aims were partisan rather than racial, was conspicuously absent. So he's saying basically the Trump DOJ pointed out several districts in a letter. They sent this and said, hey, these districts are all unconstitutional. Turns out they were not, and the way they redrew the map technically is. But they also didn't point out a lot of the districts that were unconstitutional in favor of the Republicans. So the judge is totally onto their game. He has a pretty strong filing here on why he's telling them they can't. This will be part of what goes to the Supreme Court if it does. Based off what I read, it seems like he's got a pretty strong case. So,
is there a chance that they have to redraw the maps to like include to make it more inclusive for the non-white districts or whatever?
What he ordered them to do is go back to the 2021 map, and I think
is already gerrymandered in favor of the Republicans.
It is, but at least the way it currently is, the Democrats have 5 more seats than they theoretically would have the way they redrew it. So,
but we also want it to go to the Supreme Court and get turned over so that they could lose some seats.
That's a gamble. Like I said, that's a gamble right there. Like I would say they probably still are going to win the 5, but it's not a sure thing, and they could instead end up losing like 6 or 7 seats. So, but that it kind of depends on where the economy is at that point.
Now, if it gets turned over if it gets denied by the Supreme Court,
and it has to stay with the 2021 maps.
Yes, if it has to stay with the 2020 maps, does that mean California has to do that?
No, California's original Prop 50 had like a trigger in it that if Texas redistricts, then we will also redistrict. They took that language out at some point before it actually went up for a vote. So the trigger is gone, and no, California's just going full steam ahead.
Okay.
There's a part of me that wishes Gavin Newsom would like call Greg Abbott and say, hey, y'all started this. We were matching you. Let's both just go back to where we were and not do this. I don't like the whole partisan redistricting thing. Right now,
No, you know what?
Yeah.
That's like if somebody fires a gun at you and misses.
Like I said,
and you pull your gun out and they run out of bullets. Like you don't stop shooting.
I think that this is going to end up being terrible for America if every state starts trying to gerrymander to eliminate one party. Like that's a bad future ahead of us if everybody starts doing that. And that's where we're headed, is to where everybody's going to do it.
Well, we've learned in America, we have to go through a really rough time before we fix things. And so maybe if we go through a really rough time of gerrymandering, then we'll get rid of the gerrymandering laws and we'll have a consistent like across the board like map system that we could figure out.
The Democrats tried during Biden's term to do the Voting Rights Act, where it was going to lay out rules for how everybody would district and all that stuff, and the Republicans wouldn't let it through. Republicans want it to be, which I agree with, the Republicans want it to be state controlled. The federal government should have absolutely nothing to do with how every state runs its election. I agree with that. That's what makes our system really hard to rig, is because each individual precinct is run a certain way to where it's decentralized, and it would be hard to do a mass scale rigging. That's what's awesome about it.
Don't you think there should be some federal laws in place even within the states doing that?
There should be some, but I would say just enough to keep it fair. There is a point where the government crosses in and has too much to do with it, which the Republicans were saying that's what the Democrats were going to do, and they wouldn't let anything through. But then Trump, all the stuff he's saying now, he wants the federal government to be very involved in local elections, and that scares the shit out of me. But it should scare the shit out of us whether it's a Democrat or Republican trying to do it. Is basically.
Did we talk about who bought Dominion?
Yeah, we did. A Republican-backed group.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So. Scary time. So anyhow, redistricting, it looks like it might turn out to be an L for the Republicans, and I'm okay with that at this point. They started this. We'll see how it ends up, but it's either going to be a wash or the Democrats are going to come out slightly ahead, because they're getting to work in Virginia right now, and they're going to gain a couple seats there. They got California coming, Indiana. Okay. This is a quick one, but Trump had been really all up in Indiana's business. He's tweeting about certain ones of their state senators, state congressmen. He wants them to redistrict. They've been really hesitant. They don't want to do it. He called out 2 state senators by name on Friday morning, and Friday night, one of them at their house with their family got swatted, which is where someone calls the cops and claims that he's suicidal or he has a gun, whatever. And he came out and he tweeted and was like, hey, because of what the president said this morning, my family was put in danger tonight. We got swatted, blah, blah, blah. Trump didn't care. Trump kept it up all weekend long, and they officially came out today and said, hey, we're not doing it. We don't have the votes. It's not happening. Basically said, Trump, you can give up. It's not happening. So way to go, Indiana, for standing up to him. But with them not doing anything, it's down to maybe Florida could do something, and Florida hasn't really talked about it a lot. I don't know that they're going to do it. So anyhow.
I've got a question for you.
Go for it.
And I think this was from a couple months ago, but I kept seeing stuff today about it. What Trump's spiritual leader gets arrested for molesting a 12-year-old girl?
Yeah, that actually happened in Oklahoma, I believe. Or he was from Texas, but the incident happened in Oklahoma. If it's the guy I'm thinking of.
Okay.
What was the guy's name? Was it Morris?
Is this his first spiritual leader? This isn't the first spiritual leader that he's had that's got arrested for child porn, right?
But he doesn't have one at a time or anything. He's got a committee of them. They come into the White House and they all pray for him and stuff. So it was one
committee of them that prays for him.
Yeah, he's got, I don't know how many of them there are. I don't want to guess. I'm gonna say 20.
Oh, 20? He's got 20 spiritual leaders. Are they on the payroll?
No, but they meet him at the White House. And if you ever see those pictures where they all have their hands on him as he sits at the desk and they're all praying for him as he sits there with his eyes closed?
Oh, did they speak in tongues at one point?
One of the ladies that is one of his spiritual advisors, there's plenty of video of her on stage being crazy and speaking in tongues and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, it's
Robert
a bunch. Robert Morris, yeah, that's the guy. So that happened in Oklahoma somewhere.
In the 80s. Yeah,
but his church was in Texas, and he just got found guilty here in Oklahoma.
I mean, couldn't you pick some better? Couldn't you do a background check on your spiritual leaders or something?
The kind of spiritual leaders that are lobbying to be Trump's official spiritual leaders are probably grifters. There are some great leaders of churches and leaders, pastors, whatever, that don't do it for the money and they're really trying to help people. I've seen these people, but then there are also the ones that want to be famous and rich, and those are the people that end up being that lobby to be the president's spiritual advisor.
Yeah, who was that turd down in Houston that has the mega church and he wouldn't open
Joel
it up?
Osteen.
He wouldn't open it up to the people when there was a flood.
Yep.
Was that Harvey?
I think it was Hurricane Harvey, and he actually said that the reason was because they had just gotten all new carpets in the church. Yeah. So there's a guy in Fort Worth, Texas, named Kenneth Copeland, and like there's plenty of videos of him. He's an odd dude, but at one point there was a video like from during his sermon where he was asking everybody to please tithe a little extra this week because he needs new rotors for his helicopter, and I'm just like, no, like no, 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 like that's not what we're doing.
Giving these idiots money.
Yeah. So anyhow, that's all I got. You got anything else?
I think that's it, bro.
All right. Have a good night. You're going to be gone this weekend.
I'm going to be gone this weekend.
I'm thinking I'm going to have a special co-host helping me out. So we'll see when you get back, man. Have a good trip.
Cool, man. Talk to you later.
Later.
Sometimes you eat the bar. Sometimes the bar eats you.